All right, so another game, a game you've been playing, I guess we can talk about is what's it? Fatal Fury City, City of the Wolves.
Yes, City of the Wolves. That is correct. Yeah. So
Yeah. So what can you tell me about it? Like, I mean, you've always been like the resident like FGC guy here, and obviously I think most of what I know of Fatal Fury, because to me it's a franchise that I'm somewhat unfamiliar with, and everything that I know about it is pretty much from you. So yeah, like what you can tell me about it, and kind of like how like what does the release of City of Wolves kind of embody, I guess.
that is great. That is a very good bunch of questions. So City of the Wolves, Fatal Fury is, I guess it's the, let's see how many Fatal, I need to count how many Fatal Furies are there. So there's Fatal Fury 1, 2, 3, there's Special, Real Bout Fatal Fury, Real Bout 1, Real Bout Fatal Fury Special, Real Bout 2, Garo, Mark of the Wolves. So this would be like the 10th entry of the game. And Garo, Mark of the Wolves came out in 1999. So that's like what,
Okay.
25 years. 25 long years a lot of old school fans have been waiting for a sequel for this, and thanks to a lot of like SNKs like coming back from the dead, being bankrupt, and getting a lot of money from outside investments from other countries, which we're not going to mention here, it's now finally back. And I can tell you this is a 2D fighting game that a lot of people have been waiting for. As fun as the King of Fighters is, people kind of want to see a 1v1 style game from SNK that uses characters of Fatal Fury like Terry Bogard, Andy, Mai, and even Rock Howard from Mark of the Wolves. So to have this make a comeback is really, really surprising, and also all the well better for it. SNK announced this a couple of years back, and they've been developing the game and being very, very hard at work on it. And I can tell you, in this, I guess this episode will be out on the 21st or so, when the embargo for the review has lifted. I can tell you, after playing 20, 25 hours of this, it's the sequel fans have been waiting for.
Okay.
Because when you play the arcade mode for this game, when you go through the episode of Southtown, when you play the arcade mode for each and every character, especially the main characters like Terry, Rock, Billy Khan, and Kane, and let's see who else. The new star people of a Grant called Vox Reaper. You get you get the one thing that fans have been asking for, closure. Because a lot of endings from Mark of the Wolves, Garo Mark of the Wolves, were cliffhangers.
Okay.
So a lot of us had to wait 25 years to see the resolution of the Fatal Fury story.
Right.
And by God, it actually delivered. And it even makes fun of itself at some points when you play the episode of Southtown. So this new mode in the game, I mean, the game has a couple of modes. You've got arcade mode, you've got like your versus online, and you've got your episode of Southtown mode, where basically it's an RPG mode. You pick a character, you level him up to like level 50 to level 99. You can add in skills, and you can add in buffs and whatnot to the character you selected. And you go through like their everyday plot in Southtown. And it opens up like another plot point or another side story for the character, in addition to the arcade mode story, of course.
Right.
So in terms of lore, for people who like the lore in fighting games and in Fatal Fury and in SNK in general, this basically gives you the kitchen sink and everything inside the kitchen sink.
Okay.
It will tell you all the lore at once, its endings and whatnot. I mean, yes, it does tease a little bit about stuff that could happen in the future, but if you tell me that this is the last Fatal Fury game that's ever gonna come out, people will be happy story-wise, because it completes the saga, it completes the story that people have been waiting for to see it come to its conclusion. So people who actually have been waiting for the story of this fighting game will be happy. Now, as for mechanics-wise and everything, it actually takes a lot from Garo Mark of the Wolves, where it's a 1v1 kind of fighting game. You got your super meter, of course, and there's this thing called the SPG, Special Positional Gear, if I'm correct, where you put it either at the start, the middle, or the end of your life bar. When that portion of the life bar hits that SPG part, you get access to an armored move called an SPG move. It's another special that you get, and I guess you actually heal a bit of your life when you actually do just defense and whatnot. Where basically if you block at the last possible second, And you also get to use a super special move called Hidden Gear Moves. So you've got your level 1, your level 2 gear moves, which is your special moves, of course. And you've got the Hidden Gear, which basically deals a lot of damage. But you need to use both your super meter, and you gotta make sure your ref meter is somewhere in the middle. That's when you can start using it. Trust me, when you play it through, it'll teach you all the basics and everything when you hit the tutorial mode. The tutorial and the mission mode where you learn the characters' combos are very useful. They'll teach you a lot that you need to know. But in terms... and the ref meter actually does let you do a lot of like cancels and whatnot. So, say you want to do an attack and then you want to cancel one special move to another. You can do that. But your ref meter goes up higher and higher. You chain too many moves, or maybe you spend a lot of meter on all that on particular moves, your ref meter goes to overdrive. When you're at overdrive, you are at a disadvantage. You cannot use, I guess, your EX moves. You are at a minus frame disadvantage. When you block, you're slower, basically. So you kind of need to actually do more offensive things, or even land a super move to cool down your meter. Fighting in this game and doing a lot of like heavy hitting combos requires you to chain moves. But at the same time, you also gotta be a bit more defensive and everything, like blocking, and also you can also block moves in the air, but you have to do a just defense move. Meaning you cannot just hold back. You have to tap back as soon as the air attack hits you.
Okay, good.
Otherwise the move hits you and you get knocked down. Yes.
Alright.
So that's that it plays like a typical fighting game, but it has a lot of nuance and new mechanics that we consider new this year. Because let's not forget, it's been 25 years since someone played Garo Mark of the Wolves, right? So this will all be brand new for new fighting game players. And also there's also a mechanic called breaking, where if you do a special move, you can press the ref meter, which is, I believe it's on the right bumper move on your controller, to cancel that move so it can actually follow up with a quicker move. So let's just say, for example, if you do an uppercut, we know that Ken and Ryu's uppercut, it's an anti-air, right? It's a reversal.
Yeah.
But you got like a lot of recovery because you're up in the air and everything, right? Yeah. Now imagine if you do the uppercut move, as it hits someone, you press the ref button, you basically cancel that move from this animation and you're on the ground.
It's just animation cancelling.
Yeah, animation cancelling. So you can actually follow up another move, or make sure the uppercut is safe, so you can block whatever your opponent throws at you. So there's a lot of that in a lot of characters' moves, especially for their reversals. Like Terry Bogard has a reversal where you can cancel it, so you can do you can actually hit it and cancel it, and you can follow up with another attack. But at the same time, you can make the anti-air safe.
That's interesting. Yeah, animation canceling is definitely. I mean, it's something that I feel like is you can do it in other fighting games, but I don't think it's like a key factor of like.
It is a key factor in this game because a lot of long combos require you to cancel your animations and everything.
Right.
I believe Garo Mark of the Wolves was the first one that did this in fighting games in 1999. So I'm gonna assume every other fighting game copied that. So basically, it's just SNK going back to their old game.
Right.
So there are a lot of mechanics that they took from Garo Mark of the Wolves and they put it in this Fatal Fury game. And for those who are very confused, Garo Densetsu is a Japanese name for Fatal Fury. So English is Fatal Fury, in Japanese is Garo Densetsu. So hence people call it Fatal Fury. Garo is the same thing. So although people do like Garo because it does sound cooler, I guess.
Yeah, it does. Yeah,
it does. So in other words, all the characters are fun to play. You got your grappler, T-Zoc. You've got like your chaotic all-in-one character like B Jenny. She's the girl who wears a purple dress and she's got the huge boobs and all that.
Yep.
You got Mai Shiranui, who is Rushdown. You've got Hokutomaru, the kid who was revealed. He's a ninja with the Rushdown attacks.
Yep.
Vox Reaper is more or less kind of a Rushdown character, I think. I didn't play him that much. But he's got reach. You've got your Shoto kind of mid-balance characters like Rock Howard and Terry Bogard. And yeah, that is it. I mean, there's a lot of characters you can pick from heavy hitters and rushdown characters. So
yeah,
if you want the powerhouse, you play Kevin Ryan. If you want like rushdown characters, you've got like Kim Dong Hwan and the aforementioned. I guess Vox Reaper is technically a rushdown character based on how he plays and everything. And grappler, big bodies, of course, Kevin Ryan and T-Zoc. Because if you see T-Zoc, he's the wrestler with the big bird mask.
Yeah, the bird mask.
Cool stuff. I personally prefer playing as characters like Hotaru and Tizok. So I'm a grappler character, but when it comes to using maybe kind of like a character with a fireball and some shooter moves, I go for Hotaru.
Okay.
And if you want like a very unique stance-based character with some rushdown properties, you can play a Hotaru's brother called Gato.
Okay.
So he's got this special new move where basically he's back his turn, and he can do like fast strikes and a counter, but you can cancel out the stance by dashing.
Okay. Alright, then I guess, like, I mean, is there anybody that's, like, considerably broken?
As far as I know, nobody is broken. I believe they fixed a lot of things from the previous open beta test for this game. Tizok was broken in the second open beta test, but when I tested out some moves here and there, he seems normal so far.
Okay, so seems a bit more balanced now.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna miss a lot of things, 100%, because I'm playing it as in the perspective of a reviewer and a content creator, not so much a tournament player. Because obviously,
that kind of leads into my next question as well, which is like, I mean, I guess like, from someone who does watch some competitive like Fatal Fury and stuff like that, then like what do you assume would be like your like what do you foresee being the meta, I guess?
Oh, I think people are gonna be using a lot of Gato. That's quite an easy pick, because Gato, when he appeared in Garo, and when he appeared in any of the King of Fighters game, he is considered top tier. He's got a uppercut. He's got a bunch of rush down and mix up attacks that will confuse the heck out of people. And now with this stance-based move, he might be top tier. He might. Okay. Because the stance thing, he can cancel out anything if you're quick enough.
Right.
And you can basically just attack, and then when your opponent tries to counter attack, he can do a stance cancel, and then there's a counter from the stance.
Okay.
Which will punish a lot of people. B Jenny also has a counter too. So she can also do nonsense like that. So in terms of like at the start of the week, you're going to see a lot of Rock and Terry Bogard players, because they hit hard and they're kind of standard characters you want to pick, safe characters. With not many huge weaknesses or strengths per se. But in the long run, I'll see Gato and maybe Kim Dong-hwan might be a top pick in terms of meta picks. Kevin Ryan was actually a top pick in the previous Garo and Mark of the Wolves because of his cancelling and all that. But because everybody can pretty much do the same thing, and some characters can hit hard with a long string combo, especially Kim Dong-hwan, I believe that Kevin might be mid-tier. Maybe. Because the developers, they do know that Kevin Ryan was a top tier pick back in the previous Fatal Fury game. So they might want to tone him down a bit. But in terms of like the new game, maybe Gato and Kim Dong-hwan might be top picks. But they need to know what's the most unsafe move they have in the repertoire, so they can actually mix around back and forth. But in terms of safe picks, for me, Terry Bogard, Rock Howard, Hotaru maybe, because she has a move that deflects fireballs.
Right.
And she has a dive kick, she has an uppercut, and she has a horizontal move that you can combo straight into her uppercut in EX mode and everything. And she's got a lot of mix-ups per se. I mean, you could play as a rushdown character, but she's not completely vulnerable because she can actually also spam fireballs from far away too. So I would say she's also a good safe top pick.
Okay.
So I guess to recap, Gato, Kim Dong-hwan, Terry, Rock, and Hotaru. Tizok for me is going to be mid-tier because it's going to be very hard for me to reach people, because as a grappler, when you're up close, you're dangerous, but when you're far away, you are a victim to every character. Especially to a character like Billy Khan, who is a zoner 100%.
Yeah.
So those are the
easy counter and stuff like that, yeah.
And I think a surprise dark horse might be Billy Khan, because he's been low tier in a lot of games, KOF and Fatal Fury. But in this one, because he has a dedicated close range Rekka move now, he might have some ace up his sleeves in terms of close range attacks. And he actually has a poke move. One of his trademark bow move will actually bring your opponents closer to you, and you can follow up with any bunch of mix-ups. But it's a very dangerous move, because if your opponent has high priority moves that are up close range, if you don't block, you're gonna eat a combo 100%.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
But he could be a dark horse because of his some close range options he has, compared to his previous iterations back in the day, especially in KOF where he's like he's a bottom tier pick.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I guess a question that a lot of people probably wondering as well is like, I guess if you're tier listing them all, I guess where does CR7 land on that?
Oh, I'm not too sure because I didn't play him that much.
Yeah.
But he might be a dark horse pick because of his mix-up moves and all that. Because when he has the football out, he can actually do some attacks that actually pushes the ball back. So he's got a bunch of projectiles. I saw a bunch of high-level players actually using CR7 in the game, and they actually did cut off opponents from jumping because of the ball when he's doing a chest dribble. So anything can happen. So there's some potential there.
Yeah, I mean, I look forward to hearing the day where I hear that somebody wins Evo with Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah, that would be insane. That would be insane. But yeah, that's my verdict right there. Fatal Fury City of the Wolves is that game you gotta buy as a fighting game fan, either whether you're new or when you're a veteran. This game will hit hard for veterans like me because of the context of the story and everything. And also the episode of Southtown mode that will make you sink hours into leveling up your character to get all the special moves and the color palettes and the special dialogue and scenes that you get from Fatal Fury characters throughout the years and whatnot.
Okay.
It's good for lore hounds. It's also great for tournament play and esports and fighting game. Who knows how the game will be like in the coming patches and months. And plus, the extra characters who are coming in like Andy Bogart, Joe, Ken from Street Fighter, Chun-Li from Street Fighter, and Mr. Big, they're all gonna be free coming in anyway.
Yeah.
So I would give this game a high recommendation. If I were reviewing it, I guess on the website, I guess it's a 90 out of 100. Definitely. High praise right there.
Alrighty, then you heard it there first.